Hi, my name is Brianna Busser from Milwaukee Valve, and today I'm going to show you the brazing and blasting process in preparation for the clean room application. Step one in the brazing process is we check our tailpiece. We check to make sure that it's free of blemishes and or casting surface issues. After we deem that the tailpiece is acceptable, we move on to our tube. We check our tube over to make sure it is free of defect. We also check for burrs. If there is a burr, we remove it with our round file, especially where there is a port. Along with this process, we also gauge our tube to make sure that it meets our specs and that we can continue in the production process with it. After your tube is free of burrs and you have deemed the tailpiece acceptable, we do apply the port application. With the port, we check that the threads are acceptable and that they are not damaged. We take our brazing paste, apply it to the outer skirt of the threads, put it in the tube, make sure that the port is properly aligned, and then we can permanently affix the port to the tube. We give it a few taps to make sure that the port is secured in the body and that the stem of the port is inside the tube. And also check for realignment at that time. After you've applied the port and you've checked for alignment, now we apply the paste to the tube. To close the circle before applying to the tube, we use the tip of our fingertip. We again check for alignment to make sure that's directly in the center of the tailpiece, and we wipe off the extra. With the brazing paste affixed, we are ready to put it into our brazing station. After blowing the tube dry, we check for complete coverage and that there isn't holes in the brazing paste that we applied earlier. And we also look at our port to make sure that there isn't holes in our port. Now that the tube is dry, the next process is to protect the port with a port plug. This protects the tiny threads inside the port before you put it in the blaster. Once we remove the tailpiece, we take it back over to the table. We inspect for the quality of the coverage. And we also gauge the tailpiece one last time to make sure that it retained its roundness and that it retained its size. At this point, we give it one blow with the air hose to remove extra blasting material. And now you're ready for the clean room application. My name is Brianna Busser with Milwaukee Valve. This was the brazing and blasting process.
Hi, my name is Veronica and I'm with Milwaukee Valve. I'm here to show you the process for the clean room. Before we start, we do the washing the tubes for any residue from the blasting, brazing. After you do the brushing, you blow it off. You're gonna put it in the basket and take it to the clean room through the window. Once it's in the clean room, the first thing to do is put it in a basket. The body, the ball, the tubes, the stem and the gland, and we put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. And this is gonna be for 5 minutes. Okay, once the 5 minutes are done, you take it out, drain all the water out, and put it in the deionized water. Drain the water into the alcohol. Then when it's out of the alcohol, we blow it out. The first thing you're doing here in the black room is do the wipe test, which is inside the tube. Make sure there's any residue that was left. Take it out. Then when you're doing that, you're gonna take it under the black light, which you're watching for any debris on there. Then you do the wipe test on the body, and then you do under the black light. And here are the seals. You put a little bit of Krytox on the O-rings so they stay on the tail pieces. There's the washer and the stem. They go into the body. You put the packing and the gland in there. Then you put the body on there and then the ball. You put a little bit of Krytox on the ball. And you put the other tube on the top. And then you're ready to put this bolts on there. It's 4 bolts. And then the nuts. Now it's ready to be torqued, the gland, the handle. Then you take it out of here. And you stamp it, which says the clean room. And you're gonna put the plugs on the ports. And you put some Permabond on the ports. Then you torque it. And you wipe off any left of the didn't go down. And you do the other one. Now it's ready to be tested. Okay, and you clamp it together. And I'm gonna do the shell test, so you gotta open it. It's gonna be at 150 for 1 minute. And you watch for any bubbles around the ports, around the gland, on the body. Once the minute is over, you lift it up. You close the gauge that's for the shell test and you do the C test. So now you're going to be waiting for any bubbles. Okay, now the 15 seconds are over. So the test is done. So you take it out. You're going to blow it off completely so there's no water left on there. Now that it's been tested, I'm going to take it over to the table to put the grip and caps on and bag it. You wipe the grip and put it on the handle. You also wipe clean the caps. Then you put a sticker on the handle. Then it's ready to be bagged. Put it inside the bag. You put a desiccant in there and one of the instruction tags in there for oxygen clean. You take all the air out from the bag and seal it again. Now it's ready to be put in the basket to be boxed and be sent out. My name is Veronica Castaneda. I'm with Milwaukee Valve, and this completes our clean room process.